And now more with Awal Allo, Senior Lecturer at Keele University, an analyst on the Horn of Africa, and he's in Keele in the UK. Just a bit of context, if you wouldn't mind, first of all, Awal, about Hundessa himself. Well, actually, no, not about himself, because clearly he's a popular figure and is being mourned widely. But what was going on before his death that would lead this to trigger such feeling?
So there were a series of events that have taken place as the country was, trying to go through a period of transition. As you know, this government came into power on the back of the sacrifice and the struggle of the Oromo people, in which Hachalu Hundessa was so instrumental. Without Hachalu Hundessa, we would not have had the kind of mobilization that we had between 2015 and 2018 in Oromia. Without the Oromo youth protesting, we would not have had the political change that have happened in 2018 and brought the current Prime Minister into power. And since coming to power, the current Prime Minister did not really try to address some of the fundamental questions that the Oromos had for a very long period of time. The key questions the Oromos have been asking, the fundamental questions that the Oromos have been asking, have not been answered. So instead of addressing those questions, the Prime Minister began with, for example, changing the political party that used to govern the country. So from a kind of ethnic-based organization, he moved it to a pan-Ethiopian party. And the message for most Oromos is that we are moving to a system where ethnic groups are represented based on their identities into a pan-Ethiopian system. That really signals a return to the past, which is what Oromos have been fighting against. Oromos have been demanding that their language be recognized as a national language, and nothing has been done in that regard. And some of the strategic steps that the Prime Minister have taken really angered quite a number of people. So what we saw after the days of Hachalu Hundessa, he is such a towering figure in his own right, could ignite, a significant level of anger. But I think it is also the accumulation of all those expectations that really didn't go anywhere, didn't materialize. Instead, the country seems to go back in terms of, key ideologies that govern the system. So it's all those frustrations that are boiling and exploding.
And then if we move it forward, or potentially what could happen forward, there's two very important words here: external forces, which is what Abiy Ahmed has talked about. Give us your take on what he is alluding to there and what the repercussions of that could be.
So here, the major external adversary that Ethiopia has right now is Egypt, as a result of the differences over the construction of the Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam. Insofar as the dam is concerned, 99% of Ethiopians are on the same page, as far as I'm concerned. Most people in Ethiopia, 99%, believe that it is Ethiopia's sovereign right to build the dam and to start filling. You may have some people here and there who think that, we have to negotiate this and that, but 99% of Ethiopians are on the same page and are behind the government. Now, would the Egyptians have an interest in killing somebody so important, in somebody that is the heartbeat of a very important political constituency? Absolutely. We cannot rule out the possibility that Egypt could be behind this. But at the same time, Egypt could not be the only party who would have an interest in killing Hachalu. There are so many other actors who hate what he represents. Who hates the hopes and aspirations that he embodies. So it is difficult to speculate at this point, but it's not really sufficient for the Prime Minister to say that, there are some external enemies. He should name who those enemies are, and it needs to be established with evidence.
Okay then, Awal Allo, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us on this News Hour.